All right. Football Friday. Let's get over to our friend Tone.
Big Sales, how we doing, sir?
Quite interesting and quite entertaining today how some people look at things.
Yeah, man. Hell of a day, man. Hell of a day, but it's Friday. I've been looking forward to Friday, man. Looking forward to this weekend. So let's have some good football talk.
Hey, have you polished off that Oreo cake yet?
Oh my God. I was just talking about it earlier. I ate the last slice last night.
Damn. Man, I've been thinking about that thing, man. And you got me
this
good,
is like, this is like the I brought this up to you on Monday, right? And you've been talking about it all week.
It's worn me out. Hey, it's worn me out. All right. This organization's starting to wear me out a bit here, but let's go here. What's in the best interest of the Eagles? Do you think they should concede the East, give the players the week off mentally and physically, or play this game?
Here's the thing.
What's best?
Me and Rob talked about this earlier, right? And me and him both agree that we believe they should play. We believe they should play. And look, at the end of the day, we know the Commanders aren't a good team, and we know the Cowboys that they want to win the NFC East, so they're going to probably play their starters. So my thing is, you're still technically not out of the woods yet. You still have a chance at the division, to improve your seeding and at least get yourself a home game or two. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. Also, if you're hurt or if you're nicked up, sit down. I won't play you. But if you're healthy and you're a full go, I'm putting your ass out there, because in my humble opinion, you did make a good point though. What can you really fix in 60 minutes? That was a good point by you. But also, I look at it like this. Y'all need to go into the playoffs with some kind of positivity, some level. Because if you go in with a narrow victory or a loss into the playoff, I just don't think that's the right footing to go into the playoffs on. So
that game could do nothing but harm to you. What if you win that game 20-19 and you hurt two starters on that turf in New York or Jersey?
I hear you. I got you. I listen.
It's more detrimental to your physical positioning going into that game than it is for you to play that game.
So you're looking at it as you made your bed, just laying it at this point.
Tone, you have so much optimism, and again, it's waned. It totally has, and I hear it, and I understand.
I
even see what LJ's saying. I get it. I understand it. However, whether they deserve it or not, we're beyond that stuff. You're not fixing anything, Tone. There's no switch. There's no.
No, I've been saying that.
There's no momentum.
How
are you going to get momentum off that game? The only thing the Giants didn't do 2 weeks ago was finish the deal that the Cardinals did.
That's the only difference, because they could have lost that game too. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel differently about it. I just look at it as
okay.
Although again, you brought up some very good points. Albeit to you, but I just feel differently about that last game. I look at it as you still have a chance to win the division, and all you can do now. I will say this though, right? Because both games are being played at the same time.
I think it's good not to have the surrender mentality.
And that's my thing, right?
I think so too.
Especially when it's not locked in yet. So both games are being played at the exact same time. Now, I will say this though: if it's third quarter or fourth quarter, and you check out the scoreboard and you see Cowboys up on Commanders 45-3 in the third quarter, okay, I'm sitting, guys. You know what I mean? I'll map it out that way. But as far as starting out the game, if you're healthy, you're playing. Simple as that.
Are you running the ball in this game, or are you throwing the ball? What are you trying to accomplish in this? I mean, is there a thing you're trying to accomplish in this game? Don't you want to make this thing as simple as possible? Trying to I want to win this game. If I have to win it by 1 point, I don't care. All I want to do is not get guys hurt.
No, yeah, I understand. That's a good question. What's my approach in this matchup? Obviously, you want to win, but as far as my approach, that's a good question. One could argue if you lean on your running game, you probably put more guys in position to get hurt. One could argue if you just come in trying to air it out, you might not win the game at all. So I think in this, I think this is the
I
kind
don't
of
want to
game.
drop Jalen back 35
Yeah,
times.
right, exactly. Exactly. So, if it's up to me, I'm leaning on my running game heavy. I think what was my score? I had them winning this game 31-23. So, yeah, I think the game plan should be very simple: run the ball, RPO it, some play action here and there. No need to overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? I want to limit as much traction that Jalen Hurts picks up. So that's I want to keep as much tread on those tires as I can for the playoffs. So I'm going to run the ball as much as I can.
Keep an eye on this. You got a 10-point lead with 10 minutes left in the game. Are you keeping guys in or are you yanking them?
10-point lead, 10 minutes left in the game. With this Eagles defense, I mean, I might need
Giants, dude. The Giants don't want to win this game.
I know they don't. I know what
the players do. The players do.
Right.
The organization doesn't want them to win this game because there's a shot they could get the 2-hole in the NFL draft in April.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to systematically somehow sabotage it.
Right. So do you think they start Tommy DeVito? Because that you can sabotage it that way for sure. Because I asked Rob, I said, "Who's going to start?"
That's a great call.
Like,
if you want to sabotage the game, you start DeVito. Not
start DeVito. That's all you got to do. Just start DeVito. Because if
Tyrod went for 400 yards in offense last week.
Tyrod almost stole one. You know what I mean? Man. So if they're really trying to, if they're really trying to botch this low key, just start DeVito. Come up with the reason. I don't know. Like, just come up with a reason.
Would you play Barkley if you're the Giants?
If I'm the Giants, I don't play Barkley. If I'm Saquon Barkley, I don't play. So, if he shouldn't play at all.
I wouldn't play him.
I wouldn't play.
I wouldn't play either.
You know what I'm
saying? You were an organization that tried trading me after you gave me a deal. You didn't want to give me a deal. You don't really like me. You're going to move me. You only gave me a 1-year contract. What is my incentive to play for you? I don't need to audition. Everyone knows who I am.
Exactly. You know what I would do? I the easiest injury to fake these days is the back. Yeah, the back's tight. I don't know. I can't really touch my toes today, you guys. Sorry. So if I'm Saquon, I'm setting my ass down, getting ready for the offseason.
Oh, like in Caddyshack? Oh, my arm.
my neck, my back, my neck, and my back.
Okay. Even James had to pop on here. What about Dallas Goedert saying that Howie Roseman's in every meeting?
Did he say that really? Like, I need to make sure. Did he say that exactly? So somebody in the live chat clear it up for me.
No.
Because I heard you guys talking about that. But did he say that? Like, he's in those meetings?
He was asked a question, and he goes, Howie's in the meetings.
Get the hell out of here.
Oh, James says he didn't.
Okay,
we got to find that.
Somebody help me out. Did he say it or not? Because, okay, James said he didn't. Okay. James is pretty spot on. All right. Because if he was, that would be God awful if that was the case. Thank God.
Right. Hey, do you how about the fact that Brock Purdy makes $870,000?
Talk about getting your money worth.
Talk about covering for the Trey Lance disaster.
It's, I'd rather lose 3 first-round picks than lose $300 million. So, you know what I mean? They're doing a hell of a job over there in San Francisco. They're doing a great job over there financially. They've had, what's so crazy? Because they've failed at the quarterback position time and time again, it's given them time to really load their roster up. And then they fell on Purdy, which is how grateful can you be for that situation? I mean, they've done a good job loading that roster up, making it ready-made for anybody to go in there. And Brock Purdy has done an amazing job. I think Brock Purdy has elevated himself in the position where he's definitely a top 10 quarterback in
You
his
think
NFL.
he's going to be the highest paid quarterback when his contract is up in the NFL?
Ooh.
You think he makes more than Burrow?
No.
What if he wins the Super Bowl?
Now, if he does that, see, now that changes things. I mean, here's the thing, right? What's going to be important to monitor is how he sees himself in this situation. How does Purdy value himself, right? Because he seems like the kind of guy that
that would take the Brady route.
He seems not that far, but I know what you mean. He strikes me as the kind of guy that if you ask him behind closed doors, he'll say, I'm pretty lucky to be where I am. I'm pretty fortunate to have the guys around me that I do. He strikes me as the kind of guy that understands his situation, that he's maximizing his situation.
But that'll wear off like it did with Brady. Because Brady was lucky where he was early in his career. Right, but after a while,
it wears off, right?
Tone, you're the guy.
Right. And that's the thing, right? At what point does that become the conversation? Right. But I don't think he's going to be – I
agree with you.
Yeah, I think he's going to be closer to honestly, I wouldn't even – you may think I'm crazy, but he's not even going to be a $50 million guy.
Oh, Bull. No way.
I think he'll be around 45, 40.
You're going to pay him Daniel Jones money?
Daniel Jones don't even deserve that money.
I get it. Daniel Jones makes 40.
Right. So yeah, I think Purdy's going to be between 40 to 46 million a year. Because the
cap's going up.
It is going up. It is going up, man.
I don't think he makes more than Burrow, but I think he's 50.
Okay, yeah.
How about this? Who would you rather have quarterback in your team, Brock Purdy or Justin Herbert?
That contract right now makes it a lot easier for you to make that decision.
Oh, yeah, but he's a $50 million guy with the Chargers.
Right. But I'm glad you said that. He's a $50 million guy who still hasn't shown that he can win significant games against significant opponents. At least Purdy has that, right? He's beaten some pretty high profile teams and high profile quarterbacks. So at this point, with knowing everything that I know right now, I would take Purdy over Herbert because of the contract situation, and he knows how to run an offense, and he wins games.
Watch this one, folks.
Nope, I already know where you're going. Nope. Nope. Don't even ask me. Don't even ask me.
Wait a minute.
Don't even ask me. Don't even ask me. Don't even ask. I already know where you're going. Don't even ask. Don't even ask.
He beat me to the question.
Don't even do it. Yeah. We're having a good time here. Don't do it.
He won't do it. Wow.
Let me say this though.
All right. Well, let me phrase it this way.
I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling. Go ahead.
In 3 years from now, who will be a better quarterback, Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts?
Okay. All right. Okay. I can roll with this. In 3 years, who will be the better?
Because last year Jalen was the better player.
Right. Yeah. Granted, Lamar was hurt.
Yeah.
But to your question, in 3 years, who will be the better quarterback? Man, it's so hard to say. But if I'm basing it off of both quarterbacks' situations, basing it off of their basing it off their head coach situation, the way their team is being run, built, the lengths that both teams have done to make sure their quarterbacks have what they need to be successful, and based off of the recency bias, you got to go Lamar Jackson because he has everything.
Environment.
He has everything trending right for him, from the head coach to the OC to the GM to the way the team is built to the way they call plays based on his skill set. And currently, right now,
the way they evaluate talent,
the way all that.
Did you think Zay Flowers was going to be that good?
I knew he was going to
be at BC.
I mean, he went to Boston College. I didn't think he was going to be this good. I knew he was going to be good. Let me make that clear. I knew he would be good. But
I
I
didn't
didn't,
have an
and I
opinion
didn't
on
expect
him.
him to have the impact he's had thus far. I mean, Zay Flowers right now. I mean, what are his stats right now? I mean, he's been awesome.
He's got to make the all rookie team though.
Oh yeah, him at Jordan Addison. They have to.
Yeah.
Is Jackson Smith and Jigba, with Seattle. They have to. All right, so Zay Flowers this season, Zay Flowers, wow. He has 108 targets, 77 catches, 5 touchdowns, and he has 858 yards receiving. Now, if he has a big game, well, he's not going to play on Sunday.
No.
So those are going to be his numbers. So not bad for a rookie campaign.
No, but he'll have a Devontae Smith rookie year.
Exactly. Excuse
I
me.
like Devontae.
Yeah, and also you got to keep in mind Lamar only threw for 3,600 yards this year. So
and look at the attempts. Not a lot of attempts by him.
For 457 attempps, 67% completion percentage, average 229 yards a game, 24.
What were his yards per catch?
Zay Flowers' yards per catch was 11.
Okay.
Yeah, out of it was less than OBJ's. Odell Beckham Jr.'s yards per catch was 16 yards per catch. 64 targets, 35 catches, 565. I mean, they did a good job spreading the ball. Damn, Zay Flowers had 44 more targets than the next closest guy, and that's OBJ.
Wow.
Zay Flowers had 100.
What was Odell Beckham's numbers?
Okay, so Zay Flowers had 77 catches, 108 targets, right? Odell had 35 catches, 64 targets. Think about that. He's been feeding Zay Flowers. He's the number one. Zay Flowers was officially a number one this year.
Okay. I wrote this down and I wanted to play a little game with you here. These are the potential free agents that are going to be out there on the list for here. And again, here's the couple things that GM does exceptionally well. I think he's really good in pro personnel. I do. I think he finds value. And by the way, too, Tone, I heard you guys talking about Kevin Byard. I think Kevin Byard is exactly what I thought he was going to be. I don't have a problem with Kevin Byard. If you thought you were going to find Ronnie Lott or Cam Chancellor, people were high. I mean, you're not going to find a guy, and no one's going to get rid of a guy who is Cam Chancellor.
No, yeah, you're
not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to come in and all of a sudden be this world beater, but I definitely expected him to come in and stabilize the position. He still have a lot of. See, he's just slow, and he has a lot of experience, obviously. But the problem on the back end is they have no speed.
Is he better than anything they had prior to him getting there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, yeah. So I mean, like you got what you got, and you're better. So
you got better at least.
And plus, he's not the first guy I think about when it comes to the problems on his team.
Me
anyway.
too.
He's not even a top five problem for me.
I wrote down 10 dudes.
Okay.
That will be free agents. Now, some of these guys probably you're not going to look at it all. Like, I do not believe the Eagles are going to look at Chris Jones. He has a 1-year contract with Kansas City. He's making $28 million. He's 29 years old. I think you're pretty set at your tackle position, even though Jordan Davis has walked back a little bit. That's probably somebody that you're not going to look at. Now, do I think Chris Jones gets re-signed by Kansas City and Brett Veach? Probably. Okay. Gotta look at something here too, Tone. Before I move on to these other free agents, somebody brought up trading AJ. You know what I like the fact too about when somebody said that? Isn't that exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs did? Instead of spending that $20 million on Tyreek Hill or that $25 million on Hill, they reinvested it in draft equity, giving Chris Jones some money, a first-year, 1-year contract at $28 million, and they rebuilt their defense knowing full well in the macro, it's going to be beneficial to having a better defense for Patrick Mahomes moving forward. And then this coming off season, they'll either draft a receiver or they'll go and get a free agent receiver to get him more help because Kelsey is starting to slow down. Didn't they do this more as something that they're looking to keep that window open of Mahomes, and they can't let the team deteriorate around him? AJ, on the other hand, remember what I told you about the $40 million that you've paid? That $40 million bucks that you've paid, because this is a cap league. That money has, I think it's that money that you pay AJ Brown is a direct result of why you're cheap on defense. I think it's AJ's money that has hurt the defense.
It's interesting. AJ's money.
$40 million. If he had drafted a decent wide receiver in the Rager draft, that money would have went into that defensive side of the football and rebuilding it.
No, that's an interesting way of breaking it down. That's
You would
fascinating
have had
because
a balanced roster because the money and the equity would have been put on that side. Like, again, Justin Jefferson just got his money, right? And I know that's a sore point, but if you landed on him, you had 3 years of a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
You just came off of $40 million these last 2 years with AJ. The money that they pay him, because they're not really paying Jalen right now,
right.
that money has affected. This is how we got the money from to pay AJ. Not paying TJ Edwards, not investing in the safety position. The entire linebacking core were all trash cans and a guy who couldn't stay healthy.
Right.
No depth at edge.
It's like
he cut corners, like Yale just said. He cut corners to pay.
The fact of the matter is, right? You drafted Devontae, and you knew you needed some more help in that area, right? So you went and got AJ, and I'm not going to say in hindsight,
you failed though with Jalen Rager to cover.
Yeah. I'm not discounting that. That was a clear-cut failure. That was a failure on day one. But I can't sit here in good faith and then all of a sudden say, the AJ move was a bad move when we've had nothing but success with him. I'm not ready. I understand your logic though, because from a fiscal perspective, yeah, your poor decision making forced you to spend money here that you didn't have to spend.
And it affected your defense.
Of course, fiscally, you're making perfect sense.
And then look at the corner investments.
But also, hold on, real quick. We gotta take into account their philosophy. So, yeah, AJ Brown is taking up a certain portion of the money, but where would that money have gone? In the other point, you think he would have put it in the linebacker room?
No,
right?
It's a great take.
And they already he clearly had no problem paying the corners. You know what I'm saying? He has no problem paying his defensive line. So, I mean, I feel like the way they built this defense is how they wanted to build it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Defensive line, cheap at linebacker, veteran corners, and I feel like this is kind of par for the course. It's easy for me to say AJ Brown is taking up a portion of the money, which makes it hard to build the defense. It's easy for me to say that now. But let's just, hypothetically speaking, let's say he did have an extra $25 million. Where is it going to probably go? On the D line somewhere, not the linebackers. So I mean, I understand the logic, but I think it's foolish for us to believe that Howie would have did right by that money at linebacker, because I think that's what you're talking about, right? You're talking about linebacker mainly.
I'm talking about the fiscal part of this.
Yeah, right. And honestly, do you really think he would have spent that extra money on linebackers? So that's how I'm looking at it.
Maybe they would have addressed it more in the offseason.
I'm with you on that. And I don't think you even need a big name guy to be.
I don't either.
I don't believe that.
I think you need TJ Edwards.
Listen, they could have afforded TJ Edwards. They could have afforded it. They knew they had it.
Wait a minute. They could, but they didn't want to.
Exactly. That's what I think. They could have, but they didn't want to.
Okay, let me throw some of these names at you now, because I think the rest of the list is somebody that we can kind of debate here. Would you throw money at a 26-year-old Josh Allen who makes $21.7 million bucks? He's a
You
free
talking
agent.
about the guy from Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Yo, he's nice.
He is
He
a terror.
He's scary, dude.
How about you put him on the other side of Josh Sweat and you have him rushing the passer with Reddick behind him? And you got Reddick, Josh Allen, and Josh Sweat, and Davis and Carter. Could have the best defensive line in pro football.
Listen, I actually don't think
you're going to get home with that.
I actually don't think Eagles fans might not like this, but I don't think Reddick gets resigned. I don't think they extend him because
Dude, I heard you say he has 15 TFLs and 11 sacks. Come on now.
I'm with you.
I mean,
I'm thinking like them. And
I'll tell you what, if you want to dump him and sign Josh Allen to a $25 million contract, he's 26, dude.
And that's my thing. I think they want to get younger. And when when Hassan Reddick's contract is over,
I think he's 32, 3 or something.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'm trying to put myself in the mind of a guy who's thinking about the money, the longevity. They want to get younger. You know what I mean? Hassan Reddick is great at what he does, great, spectacular, but he's limited, right? So, I don't know. And also, there's a lot of contracts coming up that same season. Matter of fact, we can look at it right now. As far as contracts that are active, let's think about this. So, contract terms. All right, here we go. So, as of right now, Hassan Reddick, give me 1 second.
I think he's got another year. Because it was a 3-year contract he signed.
All right, 2024 free agent. Okay, let's go to 2025.
He's got another year.
All right, here we go. Here's their 2025 free agents. 2025. Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Kevin Byard, Avonte Maddox, Jake Elliott, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Zach McPherson, Kenny Gainwell, Marlon Tuipulotu, Josh Joe, Reed Blankenship, Brenton Covey. That year, I think they're going to make a decision between Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. And I think they're going to choose the younger guy.
I think you're making it easier of a decision to bring Hassan Reddick back if this guy Nolan Smith bombs.
That part. And I think, and remember,
if that kid bombs, it helps Reddick.
And let me tell you this, though. We know how the Philadelphia Eagles move. We saw how much they put on the Kobe Dean plate, right? Because they felt like it was time for him to step up. What's stopping them from doing the same thing with Nolan Smith and gambling on him and letting Hassan walk? They've already proven that they're willing to do something like that. They let TJ walk, a guy who had experience, to put in the Kobe Dean, a guy who had none. What's stopping them from letting Hassan walk and putting Nolan Smith in there, a guy who has almost no experience right now?
And because the way how he walks, we know he loves his boys.
He loves the guy he drafts. He believes in putting these guys, through the fire, regardless if they're ready or not. You know what I mean? So decisions got to be made, man.
How about this one? Why do you think that the defensive coaches aren't starting Milton Williams? Jordan Davis does not belong being a starter. I'm going to tell you why. Because that GM is telling them who to start. Because I talked to Brian Baldinger last night. He goes, and he sent me some clips of him just laying on blocks and laying on the ground because he's gassed. Mm-hmm. I mean, what? Okay. Yale says he's getting a lot of snaps. Well, then start him. He's more productive. You're hurting the team by playing and starting him just because Howie drafted him first. That's not a winning decision, Tone. That's a counterproductive decision. That's a front office mingling in involving themselves in something that you're playing the lesser player right now.
No, I agree.
Playing the lesser player.
I'm of the mindset, if you're producing, you play. If you're not, you're sitting.
Yeah, I know he drafted Milton, but Milton's a third rounder, I think.
Yeah. Milton's like a third rounder, a rotational guy. But I love Milton's motor.
He's more productive.
He plays the run very well too. He's a bit of a tweener.
Why isn't he starting?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Don't do that to me, man. Or I'm going to bring up the Lamar Jalen question to you.
Listen, he's not. Listen, let's be honest. First round pick, third round pick. We know how this goes.
I do.
We know how this goes. Like you said, this ain't college, man. You pay him, you play him. You pay him, you play him. And
you draft him high.
Yeah, you draft him high, you play him too. So, it's like, what do we like? This is the part of the Eagles that frustrates me because it always feels like we're talking in circles, right? It's like we know who they are, we know how they think. Why do we like?
I know. What are we doing here?
It's the most it's the most frustrating thing. Like we know how they think, but but here's what's annoying about it: we know how they think, but they love to pretend like no one knows how they think. They think they're moving like spooks, but in reality, no, we know exactly who you guys are. And listen to this though: the 2026 free agents will be Jordan Mailata, Dallas Goedert, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Devontae Smith, Jordan Davis, if they decide not to pick up the option, which they will. Cam Jurgens, Nakobe Dean, Grant Calcaterra, and Eli Ricks. So they got some over these next 3 years. They're going to have to make some heavy decisions. Obviously, I think Mailata comes back. I don't know, man. If Dallas Goedert has no seat,
5-win team.
Man, don't say that. I'm not claiming that just
5-win team in 2 years.
Hey, listen, man. Don't you want the show to be entertaining, man?
You know that's a tremendous point. No, I do not.
Listen, man.
No,
you want them to win.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna kick it back at that way on me. All right.
I'm just saying. You say it all the time, right?
When they're doing here, man.
When they're winning, it makes this show way more robust. You know what I mean?
Chills, you want a 5 and 12 team to talk about? I do not.
Right. We could be in Chicago or we could.
No. Honestly,
or South Carolina or something, North Carolina.
Hey, how about this one? I know everybody when I first said his name during the trading deadline, everyone's like, "Who?" I love this Jalen Johnson kid.
Yo, he's a Pro Bowler this year.
15.7. He's a free agent. He's 24.
You talking about the corner? You talking about the corner from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
He's a Pro Bowler this year.
I know he is. And he was on the trading block.
That means the prices went up.
Okay. Well.
No, I'm with you. You need youth right there.
He's 24.
And obviously you can't draft him. So you might as well trade for him or sign one. I respect the GM. I respect the team that knows their limitations. And they say, look, we suck these guys. Let's just sign one or trade for one and call it a day. You know what I mean? I respect teams that understand where they suck at. I respect anybody that knows their weaknesses.
How come the Eagles can't figure that out?
Man, oh man, don't get me started. They got
all right, here's another one. Brian Burns, Carolina. He's 25. He's $21.7 million. Carolina has to get some draft equity because of what happened last year with them moving up to get Bryce Young. This is the third year in a row they've got this kid on the trading block. Would you look at him?
Yeah, I would look at him. I mean, especially if you're considering moving on from Hassan Reddick. You go younger.
Would you trade the 25th pick in the draft for him?
For Brian Burns?
Yeah, 25. He's a Pro Bowler.
25th overall pick for an edge rusher who's already solidified. How old is he again?
25.
9 times out of 10, you sign him. I'm sorry, 9 times out of 10, you trade him. You sign him as well. That's going to be a sign and trade situation. What do you think he's getting? Like
21.7.
You think that's his market right now?
I think he's going to get around 28 million.
Because I'm curious now. Let me see something. Because
I wouldn't mind me right now. Is last year of his contract in Carolina is 21.7 million.
All right, yeah, Brian Burns. Okay, all right. 2023 base salary of 16 million. Okay, let's see here. All right, market value right now. His market value right now is 21.7 million. 5 years, 108. You think that's an annual salary too? You think Harry Roseman's going to pay somebody 21 million on a? Again, I'm trying to think like him.
I'm trying to think like a winner here. You're trying to think like a sword salesman here.
I'm trying to think like him.
Okay, well then
And
he's out. Shit, everyone on this list is probably out there.
but here's my problem, right? You got to pay to play. You got to pay to play, baby.
But
You know what I'm
see,
saying?
wait a minute,
And
Tone.
I would make the move.
But Tone, he's done the right thing on Jalen's contract, and he's not doing it the right way.
If
Dude,
he wastes his
a
opportunity,
stroke of genius in that contract that you're not utilizing.
I would make the move. But actually, what I would do, forget Brian Burns, I'm going after what's my man in Tampa Bay, the linebacker,
Antonio Winfield Jr.
No, not the safety.
Devin White, 25.
That's who I want.
He's 21.1 million market value, and he's 25.
That's who I want. I don't care about nobody else. That's who I want.
How about, wait a minute, I got another one for you. Or would you rather have Patrick Queen at 24 at 18.5 million?
Nah, I'll take
Pro
Devin
Bowler.
because I'll take Devin because he's a Mike, and Patrick's not a Mike.
Okay.
Even though I would love to have Patrick, don't get it twisted, but I want a Mike. You know what I mean? I want somebody that's going to orchestrate that defense.
How about the Jarvis Swede, Kansas City's 26?
Oh, the corner. L'Jarius Sneed.
Corner, 11.8.
He's solid, man. He's
Maybe
better than I
Pro
thought he was.
Bowl.
He's better than I thought he was. Like, he's better than I thought he was. I actually think the Chiefs are going to bring him back.
Probably.
I think they're going to bring him back.
Probably.
So
you think they bring Chris Jones back at 30 million? You let Tyreek Hill walk out the building. I think they're going to pull a Belichick. You know what that means? They ain't going to pay top dollar for guys when you got Patrick Mahomes in the building.
At this point, right?
No way. I think they'd rather draft a DT and move him out and trade him and let someone else pay him. They did the same thing with Darrelle Revis. They didn't keep Revis. Hey, remember when Stephon Gilmore wanted more money? He was the player of the year in 19. They moved his ass too.
See, here's the thing, right? They've already shown that they've already shown you said it earlier, the precedent has been set.
Yeah.
They've already made it clear that if y'all can't agree on a number, they'll trade you.
And plus he's 29.
Yeah, and they have that much faith in the quarterback, which makes the decision that much easier.
Chris Jones got a 1-year contract take.
So yeah, that's the only reason he played this year, because they gave him some more money up front.
They gave him a 1-year deal.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not back, because he's going to be a free agent at the end of next season, right?
No, he's a free agent this year. He only has a 1-year contract.
Shit. Then in that case, I don't think he's back. I don't think he's back. I think they look at it like this. They done been through this whole year and they said to themselves, yo, we need receivers. We need receivers, man. I think they're going to either buy one and draft. I think they're going to buy one and draft one.
Can I tell you who I think lands in Kansas City?
Because I got a name
is out there right now that you would want to put with Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a free agent out there in the open market.
Oh, that's going to be a free agent. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What guy out there right now who's been told already, we ain't re-signing you?
Mike Evans.
You put Mike Evans' ass in that thing.
You put Mike Evans in KC, and you might as well give them the Super Bowl.
Hey, because Mike Evans, Jason Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Oh yeah, Travis Kelsey. Yeah. Oh, and another guy. Here's another guy too that's going to be a free agent that they're not going to resign. T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is a free agent.
Yeah. Now if he's younger than Mike Evans for sure, but T. Higgins as of right now, his market value stands at about $16.5 million a year. That's his market value right now.
They're not going to pay $20 million for a receiver like that.
Of course not. Of course not.
That's why. You know why Mike Evans is affordable? My opinion, Evans is around 30. So you can use that against him.
Yeah, Mike Evans' estimated market value is $24 million a year.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Of course not. He ain't getting that. At 30, he's not getting that. So if the Chiefs can't score Mike Evans, they could probably score T. Higgins.
You'll get an Odell Beckham deal for him, but 15 to 18 million, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. That's what
They'll go 15.
that's what I think
Get
happens.
this, and that's $10 million less than Hill's salary.
And also, Calvin Ridley will be a free agent this summer.
And well, Mike Evans.
No, I'm with you. But you know, I'm giving you up. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like trying to stack the options, right? And also, Tyler. See, this is a good wide, in my opinion. If you look at all the free agents at wide receiver, this is a good wide receiver class at free agent.
What do you think the Eagles do at 3? At the 3-hole wideout spot on the roster?
That's a good question.
Do you think they just don't address it?
It's not going to be a big money guy at all because,
but it can't be an old guy.
No, I don't think he's going to be old, but he's not going to be expensive either because they still got to pay Devontae.
Oh, you know what really effed that whole Arizona game up for a player? What player got jobbed the most out of that game? Julio. He had 2 TDs.
Yo, Julio had 2 TDs.
Had 2 touchdown catches.
And they were pretty good, too.
Because they lost the game, man, everyone didn't
care.
Jobbed. I was like, damn, the dude has a game for the first time in 5 years, and nobody's talking about him because they lost to the Cardinals.
It sucks, man. It sucks. He definitely got ripped off. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go, because there's some guys available, right? There's Tyler Boyd, who's going to be available. Who else? Hollywood Brown, who's 26. Michael Pittman Jr., Cedric Wilson, Curtis Samuel, Odell Beckham's going to be available. Kendrick Bourne. Like I said, this is a really good free agent receiver class in my opinion. Yeah, so Matt Collins. So, I mean,
all right, dude. Before I get you out of here, I have to ask you. They win Sunday, right?
Yeah, they win. They win 31-20.
Wait, no, look at me, Tom.
Yeah,
they win, right?
Yeah.
Hey, does Jalen get 4,000 passing yards?
Yes, he does. Yes, I think he does. Actually, now that I know what
I think he breaks Wentz's record.
That's what I was just about to say. Now that I know what the record is, because I couldn't remember it at first. Now that I know what it is, 4,039, I think he breaks the record too. I think he breaks the record. Not that it's important, but I think he breaks it.
I think it's important. I'd want it.
I mean, yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, like, is it important?
Hey, Tom, really. You play the game, and guess what? You keep scoring, you keep records. I want my name there.
No, I'm with you. And also,
when people go like this, well, the game doesn't matter. Do you keep them score?
He said they keep a score.
When people go like this, the preseason games don't matter. I go, are you keeping score? The guy goes, yeah, well, then I want to win. I mean, I'm not doing this just to look good.
Yeah, I hate when people say preseason.
Me
doesn't
too.
Matter. I hate it.
Well, the game doesn't matter. Are you keeping score? Yes. Well, shit, I want to win.
Right. Is somebody making money because of it? Yeah, like, it matters. But yeah, I think I think Jalen Hurts goes for 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing, and he goes for and he breaks the record. That's what I think.
All right. Hey, that's what I think. Hey, can you believe this between Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts? Both these guys aren't Pro Bowlers. One guy's got 42 they got 80 touchdowns between them.
It's crazy, right?
They got 80 touchdowns between them.
I'm so glad you said wait. So with Josh Allen has how many again?
42.
Josh Allen got 42 touchdowns.
He's got 27 passing. Him and Jalen both have 15 rushing touchdowns.
But guess what? And also their passing yards are pretty
yeah,
close
he's
too.
Got 39, 87, and I think Jalen's at 38.03.
Yeah. Jalen's at 38.03. Allen's at 39.47. You want to know why? Like the people, no one cares,
80
right?
touchdowns between the two of them,
and also their attempts are pretty on par too. Jalen has 522 attempts. Allen has 541. Allen has 355 completions. Hurts has 345. They're both currently completing. Jalen's completing 66% of his passes. Allen's completing 65% of his passes. You know why they're not talking about him like we're talking about him, right?
Turnovers.
Allen has 19 turnovers on the season, and Hurts has 18.
So wait, watch this.
Listen, hold on, wait. Time's out. Did Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts have an identical season?
Yeah.
What the? Yo, who would have thought we'd be having this conversation? Like, did Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts just have an identical season? That is ridiculous.
So wait a minute. So 40 turnovers between the both of them, theoretically.
Yeah. 18 and 19. So
touchdowns. Man, look, I don't, it's a problem for me.
Yeah, 37 turnovers between them. Yeah, 37 turnovers between them.
Okay, watch this. 37 turnovers between them and 80 touchdowns between them.
80 touchdowns.
I'm going to do this to you, Tone. Do you have a problem, Sills, with those numbers? I don't know, maybe a little, but gee, those 80 touchdowns, man. I mean, that's a lot of production, dude.
Hey, listen, hear me out on this. I understand that Josh Allen, from a pure throwing perspective, him and Hurts are just in different categories.
I get it.
I totally understand that, right? But aren't they
but it's
similar?
Not how you drive, it's how you arrive. They're arriving at the same place.
Right. They're eerily similar. They're eerily similar this year. But overall, man, I think Allen's a great quarterback. I think Hurts is a great quarterback.
80 touchdowns.
You know what? The MVP should really be between Allen and Hurts. It should be between those guys, but the turnovers is holding back.
If they had half the turnovers.
Can you imagine if Hurts had 9 turnovers and Allen had 10 for the whole season?
80 and 19.
And 80 touchdowns between them?
It'd be a freak show years.
That's why I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' season like, oh my God, 18 turnovers, bro. You had 38 touchdowns on the season. It just overshadows it. It overshadows an amazing year.
The problem
really
that you're looking at, though, with Jalen, it's wobbled so much this year. And when they got rid of Ken and they put Joe Brady in there, he just looks different. He's still turning the ball over. But you know what I think? His turnovers, like you said, not every turnover is a turnover where it's going to be impactful. I think his turnovers are less impactful now than what they were earlier in the year when he was forcing the football into double teams. So I just think Jalen's turnovers have become more detrimental to the team.
Yeah.
In the second half of the season, right?
Agree. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I agree.
80 touchdowns between them two freaks, and they're not
Pro
Bowlers.
Yeah. Now I will say this though. Obviously, like Allen has less rushing attempts, but he has less rushing attempts and less rushing yards. But regardless, though, they've both accounted for 49 or more first downs running the ball. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane.
Hey, come on, man. I mean, if you start talking that kind, how many first downs?
So between them, all right, in 2023, just rushing the ball.
Wait, did you say 49 or 39?
So, all right, Josh Allen this season has accounted for 49 first downs running the ball, and Jalen Hurts has accounted for 67 first downs running the ball. That tie is a career high for him. He had 67 last year.
So you two guys have accounted for over 100 first downs and 80 touchdowns. Is that right?
Yep, running the ball, and that's just running the ball.
Hey, man. Hey, Jalen had a better year than – hey, dude, them two dudes are freak shows.
Listen, I don't care how people play the position.
Turnovers down, you're good.
If they cut the turnovers down, it'd be an MVP race between those two every year.
Man. Dude.
They're insane talents.
You down like that, and you start looking like 100 first downs between two men. And
I didn't know. I didn't know their stats were this similar until just now. Because, throughout the season, it's always doing this.
It stunned me that I heard he had 15 touchdowns, Josh. I didn't think he had 15 rushing touchdowns.
I didn't either. Him and Hurts are tied right now, I think.
Yeah, they're both tied.
Right,
Jalen's
and they both
23 passing touchdowns and 15
rushing.
Rushing.
And Allen has 27 passing.
Allen's got 27 passing and 15 rushing.
80 touchdowns between
80 touchdowns and 100 first downs, dog. Think of that. And both teams are in the playoffs. Well, Bill's got some work to do this weekend. The Eagles are for sure in, at least. at least in the 5 hole, potentially.
Hold on,
in the
real quick, Sills, before we get out of here. Last point, real quick. I got to check something out with you now. If I'm not mistaken, both the Philadelphia Eagles the Bills are the 6th seed and the Eagles are the 5th seed right now, and I think that's going to pretty much hold up.
Yep.
Is it fair to say that the Bills and the Eagles are arguably probably the most dangerous wild card teams in their respective conferences?
Yeah. I think that Rams team, I think that Rams team can be a little bit frightening because of the coaching.
Yeah, and the Browns. And the Browns Raheem, too, right?
With Raheem and with Sean. That's kind of scary, and that part of it. And I'll tell you something else, too. If the Packers sneak in, that might be – I don't think the Packers know how – you want to hear a crazy stat?
They don't know how good they are.
He's thrown 17 touchdowns in the last 7 games.
They don't know how good they are.
He's got 30 on the year.
He got 30 on the year?
Jordan Love has 30 passing touchdowns on the season.
What? Yeah, he sure does. 30 and 11. Wow. And he has 4 rushing. So he has 34 touchdowns on the season.
How many passing yards?
38-43. He's going to throw. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards this year
and 30 touchdowns.
I think they found their quarterback. They just got to keep nurturing them. Now
that's a hell of a job by Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, and then we criticized him a lot.
I did, because he was wobbling early, and he turned his career. They did a nice job. They were patient with him.
Yeah, let me ask you this: Browns and Bills, and Eagles and Rams, in their respective conferences. The number 5 and 6 seed in both conferences right now.
I'm more afraid of the Browns.
I'm telling you, I think the Browns. I think the Browns are going to the AFC Championship, yo. There's something about them. I'm scared of them. Like they make me nervous.
Joe Flacco wins his 2nd Super Bowl, he's a Hall of Famer.
2 different organizations in the same division, and you beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship. You gotta start looking at it now. You gotta start thinking about it now, right?
He's got just as many Super Bowls as Eli.
Right. You gotta start thinking about it. And it's the Browns. It's like the Red Sox winning the World Series or the Cubs. Listen, man.
The Browns have never been to a Super Bowl?
Never?
Ever.
Are they what teams have never been?
The Lions, the Browns.
Lions never been. Browns, Jacksonville,
Jags.
Titans. No, they've been to one. They've been to one. They lost to the Rams. I don't know, man. That's crazy. But I think the 5 and 6 seed in both conferences are probably the most dangerous 5 and 6 seeds we've seen in a while. What do you think?
Texans.
Oh, wow. Hold on, wait. There's not going to be a 5,000-yard passer this year?
No.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
That also tells you how hard it's been for quarterbacks this year, that the coordinators caught up with a lot of the league this year and scoring's down. So when you look at your boy being down statistically, got to look that into account too, Tone, that the league was down scoring-wise and yardage-wise.
No, you're right.
Coordinators, the defenses had great years this year. Hey, dude, let me get out of here. I got our friend
let's get a break.
Emily coming up from our friends up in Hooters up in Rhode Island. I want to get to her. Don't forget
sir.
Philly Godfather.
Great segment,
Thank
sir.
you, my
Great
friend.
Segment.
That's my friend. We appreciate it. Do me a favor, my friends. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Yo.